You don't blame the president's own language of calling some of this politically motivated a hoax. It was a phrase he used at one point.
Very dishonest people. Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus. They're politicizing it. We did one of the great jobs, you say.
Some people felt you became an apologist for President Trump. They look at that moment in the briefing room. You know the one I'm talking about, when he came out and he talked about injecting bleach, and you were sitting there and he looked at you and he asked about ultraviolet light and heat.
Deborah, have you ever heard of that? The heat and the light relative to certain viruses, yes, but relative to this virus?
Not as a treatment.
See?
And
That?
you start talking about fevers. You
No,
didn't
see,
say
this is the,
no.
no. Okay,
Tell me.
so let's go back to that because that's a really critical moment. He was not speaking to me. He was speaking to the DHS scientist that was 2 seats over from me that entire time. When he finally turned to me and said, could this be a treatment? I said, not a treatment. You can look at the transcripts, not a treatment. That dialogue was between the President of the United States and a DHS scientist. I have always been respectful of offices, and you can see I don't criticize people specifically in public. I don't think that I always think that you need to transcend that, and you need to find a way to communicate effectively where you're not criticizing a person in public. So when he did turn to me at the very end of that dialogue, I said, not a treatment. Now, it's in the transcripts. It never got picked up by the press as that is what actually happened.
Your answer when he said bleach, you said not a treatment.
Not a treatment. When he turned to me and said, what do you think? Could this be a treatment? I said, not a treatment. But that moment was completely lost. And then there's, skits on Saturday Night Live.
We all mess up sometimes. You threw the ball wrong. I didn't say don't drink the bleach.
One of my people came up to me and said, Mr. President, they tried to beat you on Russia, Russia, Russia. That didn't work out too well. They couldn't do it. They tried the impeachment hoax. That was on a perfect conversation. They tried anything. They tried it over and over. They've been doing it since you got in. It's all turning. They lost. It's all turning. Think of it. Think of it. And this is their new hoax. And so far, we have lost nobody to coronavirus in the United States. Nobody. And it doesn't mean we won't, and we are totally prepared. It doesn't mean we won't. But think of it. You hear 35 and 40,000 people, and we've lost nobody, and you wonder the press is in hysteria mode. We are really, you take a look, magnificently organized with the best professionals in the world. We're prepared for the absolute worst. You have to be prepared for the worst, but hopefully it will all amount to very little. That's why I tell you, when we have the flu with 35,000 people, and this one is, we have to take it very, very seriously. That's what we're doing. We are preparing for the worst. My administration has taken the most aggressive action in modern history to prevent the spread of this illness in the United States. We are ready. We are ready. Totally ready. On January 31st, I ordered the suspension of foreign nationals who have recently been in China from entering the United States. An action which the Democrats loudly criticized and protested, and now everybody's complimenting me, saying, thank you very much, you were 100% correct. Could have been a whole different story. But I say, so let's get this right. A virus starts in China. bleeds its way into various countries all around the world, doesn't spread widely at all in the United States because of the early actions that myself and my administration took against a lot of other wishes. And the Democrats' single talking point, and you see it, is that it's Donald Trump's fault, right? It's Donald Trump's fault. No, just things that happen. But you know what? This does show you, things happen. Whoever thought of this 2 weeks ago? Who would have thought this could be going on 4 weeks ago? You wouldn't. But things happen in life, and you have to be prepared, and you have to be flexible, and you have to be able to go out and get it. And my guys, we have the best professionals in the world, the best in the world, and we are so ready. At the same time that I initiated the first federally mandated quarantine in over 50 years, we had to quarantine some people. They weren't happy. They weren't happy about it. I want to tell you, there are a lot of people that are not so happy, but after 2 weeks, they got happy. You know who got happy? The people around them got happy. That's who got happy. I also created a White House virus task force. It's a big thing, a virus task force. I requested $2.5 billion to ensure we have the resources we need. The Democrats said, that's terrible. He's doing the wrong thing. He needs $8.5 billion, not $2.5. I've never had that before. I asked for $2.5. They want to give me $8.5. So I said, I'll take it. Does that make me a bit? I'll take it. I'll take it. I never had that before. I never had it. We want $2.5 million. That's plenty. We demand you take $8.5. He doesn't know what he's doing. We want $8.5. These people are crazy. We must understand that border security is also health security.